What's going on, guys? Waco from Revolution. Welcome to LVMH Watch Week in sunny Miami, and I'm here with my dear friend, Julien Tornare, the newly appointed CEO of Tagheuer. Brother, how are you?
Good and your way. So nice to see you here.
It's such a pleasure for me. Honestly, I could not think of a better candidate for CEO than yourself. You're one of the hardest working, most dynamic guys that I know. Tell me, what are the first emotions going through you in terms of being appointed here?
Excitement, energy, I felt it from day one and it's been incredible.
One of the things that we were talking about in terms of the codes of Tagheuer, and one that I really appreciate is this concept of about being in the now, right? About being fully immersed in the culture of today. And I think the watch that expresses that wonderfully for me is the Carrera Glassbox, right? Because the Carrera is, and celebrated your 60th anniversary last year, one of the most iconic, elegant sports watch chronographs in the world. But it would have been really easy to continue just making repetitions of the past. You guys brought the story so far forward and created something that has now become an incredibly desirable watch. Tell me about that model and what it represents to you, sir.
Yeah, for me, you know me well. I'm coming from a very traditional watchmaking side. And for me, a brand like Tagheuer that has a long history as well, 1860, heritage, strong, and gets in today's world, but also preparing tomorrow is the best way. I mean, for me, it's exactly what I like. And the Glassbox is a perfect example. I mean, it's something inspired from the past, but being so well done, respecting all the codes and everything. And I think this watch is definitely something that I appreciate a lot because it combines tradition and novelty and innovation. So I found myself very well in this line, yeah.
Tell me about the execution of this timepiece and what it means in terms of the new expanding family of the Carrera Glassbox.
Again, for me, Glassbox is one thing, but the Dato is such an iconic concept. When a watch, and you know that better than anyone, gets a nickname like that, it stays. Everybody starts to talk about it, and for me, it's been something so nice to move the counter and the date in the right way and having like that. It's a hint to the past again, and for me, that's what we need to capitalize because Tagheuer is so much avant-garde, always looking, bringing new technologies. I mean, we'll talk about it, but connected watch. All the new developments that we've had, but we also need always to keep a link to the heritage, and that's perfect for me. Yeah.
Phenomenal. It's cool also for me to see that, so I live in Singapore, but I kind of travel around and I genuinely see that watch on the wrists of collectors, right? That's a huge statement also because a lot of times people are like, yeah, it's successful, whatever, but I actually see it on people's wrists. And for example, the skipper version of it is actually quite hard to get. People are very proud when they have that timepiece.
Yeah, no, true. The skipper is also something that creates a lot of desirability. It's a talking piece. And when you talk about the Dato, I also think about the Monaco, which if you are a serious collector, you have to have a Monaco in your collection. And there are a few like that are exactly in that spirit, and that's what makes me very excited about playing also with the heritage of the brand.
Since you brought up the Monaco, I have a couple of Monaco questions for you. Last year you dropped the beautiful Dark Lord, of course. There was an incredible watch that was actually created for Only Watch, and it's funny because you guys are the masters of precision timing, right? You guys are the masters of calculating speeds of races and elapsed times and so on. But it was remarkable to me that there was never a split-second chronograph in the entire lineup of everything that you'd ever created, and in particular the Monaco. So it was so cool to see that watch at Only Watch. Now sometimes brands use Only Watch as kind of a testing ground or teaser for the rest of the year to come. Can you comment on that, sir?
Yes, of course I can. You are right. Only Watch has often been kind of a laboratory where we explore different things. And it's clear that that's a high-end complication that has its place at Tagheuer because it's linked also to chronometry and all that kind of thing. So there could be some surprise to come very soon. You will see. But it's exciting because there are few things that people don't expect about the brand that will happen this year. And believe me, I don't take the credit because I just joined, but I'm thrilled by that. And yes, that piece is certainly a great source of inspiration for more to come.
Amazing. I also have to say I love your team, right? Obviously I love Tiziana, who's right over there, but Maria, George, they're all, Beatrice now from the United States, they're all so fully committed to it. But you also have two very interesting individuals in your team. You have the legendary Carol Forestier, who is one of the greatest technical minds of all time and who's on the jury of the Louis Vuitton Watch Prize. So talk to me about her role at Tagheuer, because again, you guys are not necessarily minute repeaters. You're not perpetual calendars, but you are complicated.
Yeah, of course.
How do you express that in a uniquely Tagheuer way?
For me, I was lucky to get to know her before, but I started to work with her over the last few weeks, and she's definitely the kind of the guardian of this high watchmaking spirit that we need to nurture, that we need to develop. And she knows my past, she knows some brands I worked for very well, and when we started to exchange, we definitely immediately clicked together, and we have a lot of projects, and I like that because she knows so well what has been done in the brand, what can be done technically, where we can push the limits, and she will be definitely my friend to develop the high-end segment in the next month and in the next years.
That's really cool. There was obviously a period in Tagheuer where you guys were pushing like complications in technology to an unheard of level. I mean, this is the era of the V4 or whatever like that. One of my favorite watches at your previous brand, Zenith, is the double tourbillon, right? Which technology actually comes from Tagheuer's micro tourbillons, right? Would we ever see potentially like bringing some of that incredible like technology back into the...
Could be, we're part of the same group. I mean, we share some technologies, some things. We got some help also in the past from Hublot in terms of material, and I think that's the interest. As long as each brand stays what it is for and keeps its own DNA, it's interesting to share some technologies and to get help from each other for sure. So I think it's yes, it might be one day, of course. Double tourbillon is a very exciting complication.
I love that watch.
And you feel immediately the energy, and I think it has still a lot of future to be developed in maybe in different brands. Yeah.
Phenomenal. I just wrote a list on, to me, the top 10 complicated sports watches of the modern era, and I had to put that watch on there, both in the Zenith execution and also in the Tag execution as well. So it's interesting, right? Okay, so talk to me about, on the subject of tourbillons, the watch that's on your wrist. It is the Carrera Glassbox tourbillon, and this the kind of three-dimensionality of this wonderful sapphire crystal gives you kind of an uninterrupted view of the tour, right?
True. It's for me, it's a great watch, and I know. I mean, Datto is become an icon, but I mean, here we really have the tourbillon with this beautiful teal green, which is, as Maria Lafont explained earlier, a fantastic green with a little touch of blue inspired from the cars from the 20s up to the 60s and really linked to car racing. It's beautiful watchmaking. I mean, it's clear something that's in 42 millimeters. It has the whole spirit of the Carrera, and I think it's a great evolution to what we had in the previous tourbillon with this green color. So there will be more to come, and I think it's for me it's a pleasure, because you know me, I love high complication, and having this tourbillon on my wrist today is really exciting. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's go from that to the technology you were talking about, and I love the solar graph because it's like ethical luxury technology, right? It's like, okay, we're going to create a solar powered movement. So that means you don't have to constantly change the battery on what is a traditional quartz watch. And the efficiency of this is remarkable. I think it's like 2 minutes powers the watch for a whole day. And then like 40 hours powers it for 10 months. That's nuts. And so talk to me about why that's important to you, and also how it's now been extrapolated in this very cool 34 mm, which I'm not going to say is a lady size, because even guys are wearing 34 mm watches.
Sure. No, it's a unisex. And again, yes, the solar graph technology, I mean, I've been also immersed into that. I knew about it when Tagheuer launched it, but I've been much more into it for the last few weeks. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed because it's pushing again the limit, a different way to recharge your watch. And it's always a challenge. You know, here we come with two different blue, a deep blue and what we call a polar blue that makes you think about the color of the water when it's under an iceberg or something, like very polar. And of course, the new thing is the mother of pearl. And the mother of pearl, with the challenge was how, with mother of pearl, to keep enough transparency to let the light go through and recharge. That was quite of a challenging challenge to go over. Coming with diamonds and things, but I think it's about the future. It's about, we all try to find ways to recharge everything we have, you know, around us, and that solar graph technology is again an avant-garde mindset example.
I have had the pleasure to get to know some of your ambassadors. Patrick Dempsey is one of my favorite guys. What's cool about him is he is genuinely passionate about the branding. Like, he just thinks about it and genuinely loves it on a very, very real way. You've got another ambassador, Ryan Gosling, right? And so I grew up in the 80s. How old are you, Julien?
I'm from 1972, so.
Okay, so we're close. I'm 69, right? And so there was one of my favorite TV shows was this TV show called The Fall Guy, right? Right. And this is about a stuntman played by Lee Majors, right? And so this movie is coming back, obviously recreated by a modern filmmaker, but starring Emily Blunt and also Ryan Gosling as a stuntman. Is he wearing Tag Heuer in this?
Yes, of course he will. No, he will. He will. And to rebound on what you said, whether Patrick Dempsey or Ryan Gosling are both ambassadors, but they're not only ambassadors, they really fell in love with the brand. And I haven't had the chance to meet them yet. I will in the coming weeks and months. But it's incredible because when you have ambassadors, some play more the game than others. And those two, they are completely in love with the brand. And they have passion and they wear their watches on a daily basis, not only in events or when they are under the spotlight, but every day. So they really love the brand. They are very close to the brand, to the teams. And I think that's a fantastic asset. So yes, this movie will be a highlight of the year for sure.
Fantastic. Please invite me. Thank you very much. The trailer looks incredible, and I love the fact that it's made by the guy who created Deadpool as well, which is amazing. Okay, so talk to me about 14 F1 championships, 11 constructor titles. I mean, I didn't realize it until George mentioned, but actually Tag Heuer has the greatest amount of F1 championships, just second to Ferrari. I mean, that's an incredible equity for you to have, right?
Huge. No, it's incredible again, and. I think it all started thanks to Jack Heuer, and my colleague mentioned him. He's an incredible person. I'm actually going to meet him in a few weeks. I'm going to drive to Bern and meet him and feel also where this connection with racing comes from, but it's increasing. It's increasing, and Tagheuer is really linked to this world. So I'm happy we have all these titles. I think there is a lot more to be done, and we will continue to increase our presence. As you know, in Monaco Grand Prix, we are very present. I'm going to go myself to many of those Grand Prix to really feel it from inside, but it's fantastic.
So I got to ask you questions, of course, related to the connected watch, right? Like, are you a connected watch guy?
I have never been, but I am since 2 weeks ago. No, you know me. I mean, you know my past. I'm very. I haven't even worn a quartz watch for 30 years.
Same.
I've been very much in mechanical watches. And what I have to say is, when I got to see the team, I realized that yes, it's a connected watch with all the technologies we know and all the functionality we have. But it's also a real watch. And when you can play with the watch face, I really found myself amazed by the level of realism, and you really feel you have a dial that's been painted, that's been engraved, that's been guilloché, and it's a fantastic feeling. So I like it. It's a tool. It's a cool thing. But I think Tagheuer is offering a connected watch with still a traditional watch spirit. Now even more, because you will see in a few minutes the new watch face that we can use from the other collection. So you can have from the different collection, you can have a watch face. So it's really a playground, and I like it a lot. So you will never take away from me my love, my passion for mechanical watches. But I think with this one, you have something technological, but linked to our dear industry.
Awesome. I guess I should ask you also about the eyewear, since it's there. Talk to me a little bit about what the eyewear sector represents to Tag Heuer.
Again, it's a new segment for me.
Should we put them on?
Yeah, I'm very please.
Thank you very much.
Try this one. I will try that one. These are made in a spirit again of being super high tech. Super high tech, the best materials, very light. You don't feel them, So it's a high-end product.
It's really cool.
Okay, it's very high-end product. And we have a past. I mean, we stopped in 2016, so 8 years ago, and we had to come back. What I was amazed is also with our partner Telios, we heard that the market was asking for that. All the opticians and the mom and pop glasses store were asking for Tagheuer sunglasses and optical glasses to come back. So it's a big comeback. It's a big statement. And I'm really looking forward. I'm going on Thursday to Milan for a big event in the eyewear world, where I will not know as many people as in the watch industry, but I'm excited to discuss that. And I think it's a good complementary, thing. The brand is getting so strong. The name is so strong. We have to capitalize on that. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. I know your time is limited. Let me ask you about two models, so the first is, I was just rewatching one of my favorite documentaries, which is the documentary on Senna, right? Who's the coolest guy of all time when it comes to race drivers. And there's this great scene where he's test driving the Acura NSX, and he's got like tasseled loafers on, and he's wearing his Tag Heuer link. And it reminded me how cool that watch is. Any comments?
I know what you mean. Senna is part of the legends. Huh? We often talk about Steve McQueen, but for me, Senna resonates. Same generation. I mean, those years were just unbelievable. And yes, that watch is very particular. So believe me, we're going to take care of that. And there could be some surprises in the future. Absolutely.
Dude, that would be amazing. And then last question is the original Formula One watches, right? Like, and I think Cam from GQ is what was wearing one. They're so cool and they resonate so strongly, so powerfully with today's audience. You know, is that because that would be a great like access point for?
Absolutely, and you know, I mean, I could give you almost the same answer because it's an amazing, also iconic watch, and you know how much I love to get in the past and deep dive in the past and take a watch and make a re-edition with today's codes and everything. So yes, we are working on something for that particular watch. Absolutely, yeah.
Julien, it's been a pleasure, sir. Congratulations on this new role. We're cool guys wearing sunglasses in Miami. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.